Welcome to the channel. In this video, we're diving into the world of hidden treasures as we explore the top 4 most expensive and ultra-rare U.S. coins, including the classic 1-cent wheat penny copper coins and rare silver dimes. With P&D mint marks, even in dirty or worn condition, these seemingly ordinary coins could actually be worth thousands or even millions of dollars today. So before you spend that old coin, stick around, because you might just be holding a fortune in your hands. First up, coin number 1. The Monticello Jefferson nickel of 1943, bearing the proud P mint mark from Philadelphia, is one of those coins that carries with it both the heavy weight of American history and the spark of unimaginable fortune. To glance at it casually, you might see nothing more than an aged, silver-toned 5-cent piece, tarnished by time and dulled by circulation. But hidden beneath its surface is a story so powerful, so unexpected, that owning one could very well transform your destiny overnight. This is not just a nickel. It is a piece of the American war effort, a symbol of sacrifice, and a potential gateway to riches beyond imagination. The year 1943 was no ordinary year for the United States. The world was deep in the turmoil of World War II, and every aspect of life was touched by the demands of the battlefield. Even the nation's coins were altered to serve the greater purpose of victory. Nickel, the metal itself, was desperately needed for weapons, tanks, and machinery, and so the U.S. Mint made a dramatic decision. For the first time in history, Jefferson nickels would be struck not from their traditional alloy, but from a special wartime silver composition. This change forever set apart the 1943 Jefferson nickel, and the P mint mark on the reverse was the very first time that Philadelphia proudly stamped its mark on U.S. coinage. That alone makes this coin a landmark in history. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand. Its round, silver-like body, perhaps dulled and dirty with age, yet shining with the echoes of the past. This coin once helped a nation at war. Every one of these nickels was part of a larger plan to conserve vital resources while still keeping America's economy moving. To the untrained eye, it may look ordinary, but to those who understand its story, it is extraordinary. What makes the 1943 P Jefferson nickel so fascinating is not just its wartime composition, but also the fact that within its mintage hide rare varieties, striking errors, and coins preserved in incredible condition. These special examples are the ones that collectors will fight for, bidding up their prices into the realm of thousands, even millions. In today's feverish coin market, the right coin, with the right marks or condition, could catapult its finder into unimaginable wealth, turning a forgotten 5-cent piece into a golden ticket. The silver sticker-like shine of the wartime nickel is more than just cosmetic. It is the mark of a nation that adapted under pressure. Over time, many of these coins developed deep tones, streaks, and unusual patterns of wear that make each one unique. In dirty or well-used condition, they almost disguise themselves as worthless pocket change, yet those who know their secrets understand that appearances can deceive. That deceptive power is what makes this coin so thrilling. You may think you're holding just another nickel, when in fact you are holding a fortune waiting to be unlocked. Collectors value first, and the 1943 P nickel is full of them. It was the first Philadelphia coin to carry a mint mark, the first wartime silver nickel, and part of one of the most unusual chapters in U.S. coinage. It represents innovation born of necessity and courage under fire. To own one is to own not just money, but a fragment of the American spirit at one of its most defining moments. Now consider this. Some of these coins, tucked away for decades, emerge in nearly untouched condition. Their details are razor sharp, their surfaces nearly flawless, and their luster intact. When such coins appear at auction, they ignite bidding wars that can push their value into astronomical figures. In a market where rarity and history collide, it is no exaggeration to say that the right 1943 P Jefferson nickel could fetch millions, changing its owner's fortune overnight. Even those coins that appear dirty, worn, or unimpressive may conceal rare traits, double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual minting quirks that set them apart from the rest. These hidden varieties are like buried treasure, waiting for someone with sharp eyes and knowledge to recognize them. It is in these surprises that ordinary people stumble upon life-changing discoveries, and that is why every 1943 P Jefferson nickel deserves a closer look. The historical backdrop adds even more depth to this coin's allure. During the war, Americans were asked to sacrifice, to give up comforts, to ration, and to support the cause in any way possible. Even coins became part of that effort. To hold one of these nickels is to touch history in its most tangible form, to connect with the men and women who lived through those extraordinary times, and to carry forward a story of resilience and innovation. For the modern collector or the lucky finder, the 1943 P nickel offers more than just financial promise. It offers a narrative of hope, survival, and triumph. It shows us that even in the smallest of objects, the greatest of stories can be told. And it reminds us that sometimes fortune is hidden in the places we least expect, disguised as something ordinary and waiting to reveal itself at the perfect moment. That is why no one should ever underestimate the power of the 1943 P Jefferson nickel. What looks like a dirty, silver-stickered 5-cent coin may very well be the key to unimaginable wealth. In today's market, collectors chase these coins with passion, and rare examples command sums that seem unbelievable for such a humble denomination. To spend one without knowing its true value would be to throw away a fortune, to lose the chance of a lifetime. The story of the 1943 P Jefferson nickel proves that destiny can rest in the palm of your hand. It is a coin that can make you a millionaire overnight, a coin that embodies history, sacrifice, and hidden treasure. If you possess one, guard it carefully, because within its small frame lies the power to change your life forever. Next up, the Monticello Jefferson nickel of 1944, bearing the bold P mint mark above the dome of Monticello, is far more than just a 5-cent piece. It is a coin born out of wartime necessity, crafted in a special silver alloy composition that forever sets it apart from the ordinary nickels we know today. To the casual observer, it may look like a small, dirty coin with faint silver shine, worn by decades of circulation, but in truth, it holds within it the story of a nation under fire and the possibility of wealth so immense it could transform one's fortune overnight. When America entered World War II, every resource became precious. Nickel, the essential metal used in coinage, was suddenly more important for building tanks, airplanes, and artillery than for everyday spending. So in 1942, the U.S. Mint changed the formula of the Jefferson nickel, creating what collectors now call the wartime nickels. By 1944, the coin struck at the Philadelphia Mint carried the proud P Mint mark, the first time in history Philadelphia ever marked its coins. This was no ordinary mint mark. It was a symbol of change, resilience, and history unfolding in metal. The 1944 P Jefferson nickel is unique because it contains 35% silver, making it shimmer differently than other nickels. Its silvery surface earned it the nickname Silver War nickel, though in reality it is an alloy designed to save strategic materials for the war effort. This is what makes it not just a coin, but also a piece of history, a reminder of a time when even the smallest denominations played their role in supporting victory overseas. Many of these coins were spent, carried in pockets, tossed into change jars, and worn down through decades of use. Today, when you find one in dirty or heavily circulated condition, it may appear ordinary, even worthless. But this illusion is part of its charm, because hidden among them are coins that can command unimaginable value in the modern market. Collectors seek pristine examples, rare errors, and unique variations that can push their worth into thousands, even to millions, when the right coin surfaces. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand, not knowing at first that it could hold the power to change your life. Its silver-like tone, dulled by time, carries with the echoes of soldiers, factories, and families who lived through one of the most defining moments in history. To spend it without knowledge would be like tossing away a treasure chest, unaware of the gold inside. This is why the 1944 P Jefferson nickel demands attention and respect. What makes the coin even more thrilling is the world of error strikes and varieties. Some 1944 nickels left the mint with double dies, repunched mint marks, or unusual strikes that set them apart from the millions of standard coins. These rare versions are the ones collectors chase with passion, driving auction prices to dizzying heights. It is here, in these anomalies, that fortunes are made overnight. A dirty coin in your drawer could be a hidden gem worth a lifetime of riches. The history behind this coin adds to its aura. At a time when young men were storming beaches overseas and women were filling factories on the home front, the U.S. Mint was doing its part. By altering even a 5-cent piece, the nation showed that no sacrifice was too small when freedom was at stake. Owning a 1944 P nickel is like holding a sliver of that sacrifice, a tangible piece of the spirit that carried America through its darkest hours. Collectors today understand this deeply, which is why the demand for wartime nickels remains strong. But what sets the 1944 P apart is that it carries the largest mint mark ever placed on a U.S. coin, a bold P above Monticello's dome. It's not just a symbol of its origin, but a declaration, a stamp of honor that makes the coin instantly recognizable. This giant mint mark alone makes the coin historically significant and endlessly desirable. Now, picture this. A collector discovers a flawless, high-grade 1944 P nickel, shimmering with luster as though it had just left the press. In the world of numismatics, such a find can ignite a bidding war that stretches into 6 or 7 figures. These coins, seemingly small and forgotten, transform into the crown jewels of private collections, making their owners wealthy beyond expectation. That is the kind of power hidden in this humble nickel. Even in worn or dirty condition, the coin's potential cannot be ignored. Sometimes, a coin with scratches, tarnish, or discoloration hide an error strike or unique feature that makes it rare. And because so many were spent carelessly during the war and afterward, surviving examples with distinctive traits are all the more valuable. This means that even an unimpressive-looking coin could secretly be a ticket to riches, waiting only for the right eyes to recognize its worth. In today's market, the frenzy for rare coins has never been stronger. Collectors, investors, and treasure hunters scour every corner, every old jar change, searching for coins like the 1944 P Jefferson nickel. Its combination of silver composition, wartime origin, historical significance, and potential for rare errors makes it one of the most exciting pieces to discover. For those lucky enough to stumble upon one, it truly does hold the promise of life-changing fortune. The 1944 P. Monticello Jefferson nickel is more than just a relic of war. It is a legend of coinage. It is a reminder that even the smallest coin can hold immense value, both in dollars and in history. To find one is to hold the power of the past in your hand, along with the possibility of riches in the present. If you are fortunate enough to own one, do not let it slip away cheaply, for this coin carries the power to change your fortune overnight. Next up, the 1971 Roosevelt dime, struck without a mint mark, stands as one of the most mysterious and captivating coins in American numismatic history. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary dime, worn, dirty, and often overlooked among everyday pocket change. Yet behind its plain appearance lies a story rich with intrigue, value, and the power to transform a simple coin into a treasure of unimaginable worth. To hold such a coin is to hold a piece of hidden history, a coin that can carry the promise of fortune and the weight of legacy in the palm of your hand. The history of the Roosevelt dime began in 1946, when the design was introduced to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing. It symbolized progress, leadership, and resilience in a nation recovering from war. By 1971, the Roosevelt dime had become a staple in circulation, produced in vast numbers by the U.S. Mint. Most were struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, replacing the 90% silver dimes that ended in 1964. But this is where the fascination grows. Whispers and discoveries of unusual pieces, coins with silver tones, odd strikes, and missing mint marks have ignited the imagination of collectors for decades. The 1971 dime with no mint mark comes from the Philadelphia Mint, which at that time traditionally did not place a mint mark on coins. Unlike dimes from Denver or San Francisco, which proudly displayed their origin, the Philadelphia issues remain blank, mysterious, and to many more elusive. This lack of mint mark has often made these coins stand out, especially when paired with unusual conditions, striking errors, or unique features that elevate them from common change to priceless rarities. Adding to the allure is the silver-like appearance that some circulated examples seem to display. While 1971 dimes were not supposed to be struck in silver, certain coins have surfaced with bright, silver-toned shine, leading many to believe that special planchets or experimental strikes may have slipped into circulation. These anomalies fuel the dreams of collectors, who know that any unexpected variation can skyrocket the value of a coin from cents to millions. The possibility alone keeps the chase alive, making every 1971 dime a potential jackpot waiting to be discovered. Imagine finding such a coin in dirty, worn condition, tossed into a jar of spare change or hidden in an old drawer. To most, it looks like nothing, a simple 10 cents. But to the trained eye, that coin may be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Its surface might hold microscopic details, striking errors, or unusual coloration that make it unique. And uniqueness in numismatics is the key to wealth. The right 1971 dime, with the right combination of rarity and history, can ignite bidding wars and command sums that stretch into millions of dollars. The story of the 1971 dime also connects to the broader history of American coinage. The early 1970s were a transitional era, as the nation had already said goodbye to silver in circulation coins. But transitions often leave behind mistakes, experiments, and anomalies that later become treasures. Every coin struck during this period is a candidate for mystery, but the dimes, small, easy to overlook, are perhaps the most exciting because their value comes not from their size but from their story. Collectors often describe the thrill of hunting for these coins as a treasure hunt with infinite possibilities. Every coin roll searched, every pocketful of change examined, holds a promise of discovery. And within that promise lies the power to change a person's fortune overnight. One coin, plucked from obscurity, can become the ticket to wealth, recognition, and a permanent place in numismatic history. That is why the 1971 dime, though common at first glance, carries an aura of legend. Dirty condition does not diminish the magic of this coin. In fact, it may enhance it, hiding the shine and the details beneath layers of time. Many legendary coins were discovered in rough condition, their brilliance only revealed after close inspection. It is a reminder that treasures are often disguised, waiting patiently for the right hands to uncover their secrets. The 1971 no-mint mark dime is no different. It is a sleeper, a hidden giant disguised as an ordinary coin. This coin also carries the weight of symbolism. To find one is to connect directly with the early 1970s, an era of cultural change, economic shifts, and American resilience. The dime itself, though small, represents continuity in the nation's coinage, a bridge between the silver coins of the past and the clad coins of the modern age. To hold a 1971 dime is to hold that bridge, and to potentially hold one of the most valuable rarities ever released by accident or by design. The marketplace for coins like this is fierce, and stories of record-breaking sales keep the excitement alive. Collectors dream of stumbling upon an error dime, perhaps struck on a silver planchet or bearing a striking anomaly that no other coin has. These are the coins that fuel legends, the ones that make millionaires overnight. The 1971 dime, with its potential silver-like mystery and no mint mark, sits right in the center of that dream. In the end, the 1971 no mint mark dime is not just a coin. It is a riddle, a treasure, and a promise. It is proof that history hides in the smallest places, that wealth can be concealed in plain sight, and that fortune favors the curious. If you ever come across one, even in dirty, worn condition, guard it carefully, for within that humble dime may lie the power to change your destiny overnight, turning 10 cents into a fortune beyond imagination. Next up, the 1977 Roosevelt dime with a D mint mark from the Denver Mint is one of those coins that at first sight looks like nothing more than pocket change, just a tiny piece of metal worth 10 cents. But when you look closer, when you really begin to understand the history and possibilities hidden within this coin, you discover that it may not just be worth a dime. It could hold the potential of unimaginable fortune. The idea that a small, dirty coin sitting unnoticed in a drawer could transform an ordinary person into a millionaire overnight is the kind of mystery that makes the world of rare coins so thrilling. By 1977, the Roosevelt dime had already been in circulation for more than 3 decades. Introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the dime carried his image as a symbol of leadership, progress, and courage. But by the 1970s, the silver era of U.S. coinage had already come to a close. The mint had switched from 90% silver to a copper-nickel-clad composition in 1965. That meant that dimes struck in 1977 should, by law and by design, contained no silver. Yet, here's where the magic of error coins and anomalies turns ordinary history into legend. Certain coins from this era have surfaced with unusual tones, silver-like finishes, or were even struck on leftover silver planchets that were never meant to exist. The 1977 D dime, with its Denver mint mark, becomes especially fascinating in this context. Denver was known for producing high volumes of coins intended strictly for circulation, not for collectors. That means most of these coins would churn out quickly, destined to rattle through cash registers and sit in piggy banks. But it is exactly in that process that mistakes can happen. Planchets mix from other runs, experimental strikes, or minting errors slipping past unnoticed. These are the little accidents of history that later become treasures worth millions. Imagine finding one of these dimes in dirty condition, dull by decade of handling, its surface masked by grime. To the untrained eye, it is nothing special. But in truth, that coin could hide a silver base, a double strike, a misprint, or some feature so rare that collectors would fight over at auctions. And when collectors fight, prices climb sky high, turning what seems like junk into a life-changing payday. That is why the 1977 D dime carries such a legendary aura. It represents not just a coin, but the possibility of wealth hidden in plain sight. The year 1977 itself adds to the mystique. America was shifting culturally and economically, and the coins from that era had become symbols of resilience. While the dime was still small and humble, it was also a constant presence in people's lives. Think of how many hands a single dime might have passed through, how many stories it could silently tell. Now imagine one of those dimes being the key to an unimaginable fortune. It's like holding a time capsule that connects both history and wealth in the palm of your hand. What makes this story even more powerful is how overlooked dimes often are. People search for rare quarters, silver half dollars, or unique dollar coins, but they rarely take a second glance at a dime. And yet, hidden among billions of ordinary pieces, one 1977 D with an unusual error or silver appearance could make someone a billionaire overnight. The irony is breathtaking. The smallest denomination in your pocket could hold the biggest surprise of your life. Collectors often say that rarity is not about beauty, but about uniqueness. And uniqueness is where the 1977 D dime shines. Whether it's a misaligned die, a wrong planchet, or a silver tone finish that should never have existed, such features can take this tiny coin and elevate it to legendary status. These are the coins that inspire dreams, that make ordinary people dig through old jars and search their change with hope in their hearts. Think about the symbolism here. A coin covered in dirt, forgotten in a box or tossed aside as worthless, can actually hold the power to rewrite your destiny. The 1977 D dime teaches us that fortune doesn't always wear a crown of gold. It sometimes hides under the most ordinary disguises, waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. The market for rare coins proves this time and again. Stories surface of collectors paying enormous sums for dimes with errors, unusual strikes, or unexpected metallic compositions. Auctions have turned these humble coins into headlines, shocking the world with their staggering price tags. And each time it happens, it fuels a dream that maybe, just maybe, the next great discovery is still out there, waiting in someone's pocket or drawer. The power of this dime isn't just in its monetary worth. It's in the mystery and the hope it brings. It reminds us that history is full of secrets, that accidents can become treasures, and that the smallest objects can carry the greatest value. It whispers a message: don't overlook the small things, because they may be worth more than you ever imagined. So if you come across a 1977 D Roosevelt dime, no matter how dirty, scratched, or ordinary it looks, hold on to it. Look closer, study it, and treat it with care. Because you may not just be holding 10 cents. You could be holding a piece of history, a rare treasure, and the key to unimaginable fortune. That little coin has the potential to change your life overnight, to lift you from ordinary to extraordinary, from forgotten to unforgettable. And that is why the 1977 D Roosevelt dime will forever remain one of the most exciting mysteries of American coinage. Its story is not about metal and minting alone. It's about hope, possibility, and the magic of finding wealth where the world least expects it.